what is the next move? How to go forward? In order to talk about that, I have with me three very important people. Well, two of them are already here. The third one is coming in a few minutes. You know very well the first one, Judit Polgár, again. Thank you very much for joining us again. I know that you are running through the Global Chess Festival from one event to another one, so thank you for the effort of coming here on time again.
Thank you.
And we also have another very important person. Dana Reizniece-Ozola is the managing director of the International Chess Federation, FIDE, and also the deputy president of the European Chess Union. Dana, please welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. Please have a seat. I will introduce the third person, who is also a very important one, as soon as he gets here. Now, and I don't know if you agree with me, but I think that chess is in fashion all over the world, at least in many countries. You are traveling as much or even more than me, in your case, Dana. So I suppose we agree on that. So that means that we in chess, we are living in a great moment with capital letters. And then we should know how to take advantage of that great moment. What ideas do you have about that? Judith, you as leader of a very important chess foundation, and you, Dana, as one of the highest officials at the International Chess Federation.
Well, I think chess is very rich. It has a 1,500-year-old history. And of course, it's known as a great board game. It's a complicated, it's a very strategic. And everybody's playing it, kids, adults, professors, everybody. But I think it's very important to understand also that chess can give much more to the society, generally speaking. I'm very much into education and as with my program. And because chess is so rich and we see so many different projects and in education, in other parts, I think it's very important to clear things up and say it and to give this information to the people, to the chess community, that what kind of other parts, not only the chess as a sport, but chess in education. Chess in education, there are different segments, very different way of using in education. Or you have streaming, you have many different parts of chess. It's reaching from day to day. And I think it's very important for the chess community to understand how many different segments and how many different ways you can earn money or you can love the game and you're observing. And it's also very important for teachers, for institutes, for ministries, for everybody to understand what chess can really offer, for example, in education. And I think this is why we are here also with this summit, to try to explain it and make it more clear to everybody that what kind of options and alternatives there are.
Before giving the word to Dana, please, I have to welcome the President of the European Chess Union, Zurab Azmaiparashvili. Thank you very much for coming. Zurab, please sit down. We are talking, Zurab, about how chess is in fashion because mainly two reasons. I mean, the pandemic itself and Queen's Gambit series as well. But, well, how should we take advantage of that? And then Dana was going to say something about her ideas.
Yes, Leontxo, you're right. Traveling all over the world, I do really see that this is a momentum for chess. It has become fashionable because of Queen's Gambit, because of COVID, when everybody was closed in their homes, and then they recognized how beautiful the chess game is because you can play it from sitting on your couch, having the opponents from all over the world. There are some momentums that also the negative side or the scandals attract more attention to chess, but it's important then how we use this momentum of attention, because it's the same as like with the people. With good appearances, it takes 2 seconds to get the attention, but then when I talk with you, I want to understand whether there's something more you can offer to me. And the same goes for the chess world. And I believe that if we would be concentrating only on the sport of chess, then we will lose this momentum pretty fast, because we already do have this image that chess is not for me, it's for those smarties, it's something very complicated, it's a few number of people who go in for it, earn some money, but okay, I looked at you and then I turned away. If we manage to show how chess can be useful for non-chess players, then we would be completing our mission. And here is where the educational chess comes in, like Judit's program, an amazing program where you use the complexity of the game and various elements of it, not for the sake of teaching the chess, but for the sake of teaching mathematics, language, sports, all kinds of elements, giving the future skills for the kids. So educational element. The second one, if we can use chess to empower those who are more vulnerable in the societies. For example, inmates, people who have made mistakes in their life. For example, people with disabilities, providing them the opportunity to go in for chess. Chess for refugees, chess for many other areas where, using this beautiful game, we empower them, we motivate the people, we show the way in their life. And if we manage to do that, and that's something that FIDE, the International Chess Federation, also ECO, is now trying to do, then we would be satisfied that, yes, we've taken chance of the momentum. Only with sports it will not work.
Zurab, what is your take on that point?
Okay. First of all, let me thank the organizer and especially our host Judit for this beautiful day, which already many years. It's a tradition that having a meeting in Budapest. It's a meeting of the chess world, let's say, like this meeting point of the chess world. Second, what actually Dana say, I fully agree with this concept. Well, you know that ECU, what to say, like, fortunately, is a leader of the Continental leader in FIDE, our society, or unfortunately, because sometimes, you know, the case is like this, that when you develop something very high level, and we know very well that almost all countries in Europe, chess is developed very well, it's quite difficult to change mentality, because people consider chess as a professional game, and they don't want to change this, how to say, this approach. You know, having again example Judith, we know very well that when she quit chess, she was #1 in the world, and very young, still very young, and she can continue playing and playing. But she see her role for the future of the, not chess itself as a professional chess, but as an educational tool. And that's amazing, because I believe that only few people in the world can do this step, quitting actually the main occupation, main profession, and transferring yourself to the completely other direction. But she believes this direction, we believe also this direction, that this is right approach, and that's why again I say, you know, for example, Dana said that it's not only educational tool, but chess have another to socialist people. So that's why that in issue we have very successful educational commission. You just one of the best person who is long time have such an approach and is trying to convince the world. It's Jesper Hall, and already he's 8 years chairman of our commission. But with the proposal of Dana, we create a new commission also now in issue. It's a social commission, and because we believe that this will help also this direction of the social as a chess, and at the same time the educational tool will help more develop the new approach, new brains, that what actually we are doing. When we are doing this ourselves as a chess players and people who are very close to chess, people can say, okay, they are promoting their game. But this is really not like this. We know this very well, but we have to convince the other to believe what we believe also. On this direction, that's why I say that sometimes it's good to have a big tradition, but sometimes when you're building something new, it's better to have
Free mind.
Free mind, absolutely free mind. Easier to build your strategy, what you want, because it's like a technology, for example. You know, in very well developed countries, technology in the last years, technology developed not so well because they have to replace the old one. It's not easy. It's financial matter also. But the countries which don't have the technology at all, they develop the new technology. There are many examples in the world. You know, we were just a little bit making some jokes. I want to say this. Dana's husband, it was very well-known joke about that free cheese doesn't exist only in a mousetrap. So this mentality now it's a transferring new approach there. Exists the free cheese, but for the second mouse. So it's very interesting to say because it's like this that we issue. I believe that we have to try because Dana is not only representing FIDE, but she is a deputy of European Chess, deputy president. We will try to make to do our best, not to be the first mouse, of course. This is very important for us. And I believe that with your help, and especially with great help of Judith, because names are very important. We cannot do like this, we cannot avoid this, and we should not avoid this. This is our brand mark, and they are for popularization of chess, and especially in this direction. This is very important. We have such people like Judith.
Taking one of your points, President Azmaiparashvili, chess is a very endogamic world. I'm afraid it has been like that for centuries already. I mean, most of the chess people are always looking inside the chess world.
Yeah.
Their games, their clubs, their openings, their tournaments, their ratings. But very few chess people are looking outside to the society. How can we attract new people to chess? Then, do you have some clear ideas about that, about communication? For instance, in your foundation or in FIDE or in the ECU, how do you deal with communication? What are your projects to work on that?
Well, in the Judit Polgár Chess Foundation, we believe in quality. And whatever we do, we are putting it as a news on our website and social media. But of course, me, myself, I'm traveling all over the world. I give lectures, I meet influential people, but also people, principals of schools or kindergartens. And I do believe in small steps. And we started with my foundation 10 years ago exactly, and I think we made huge steps because we do have to appreciate small steps ahead, especially in this direction where there are big challenges to switch the minds and the mindset a little bit. But I think we also have to be patient, but we have to be very clear message, and this is what us in Hungary, for example, what we're doing, that we are really giving the very clear message that chess can be implemented as a transversal subject. It can be used. This is the course what we give, and it goes from mouse to mouse, that it's good, it works. And we are continuing the very clear messaging and clearing even more and more. And this is why I'm very happy that we did, for example, what we have behind the poster of the Educational Summit, because I believe that we have to create channels for it, and we have to also work together. This is also something I think the chess world generally has to learn from other institutes, that making partnerships, it just doubles or exponentially grows the possibilities. So those people who really believe in the same thing, my image is that to clear it, to talk until the moment that we are on the same page and communicate it together, because it means that it's an attack from different sides. Going to chess, of course, if you have a queen and attacking the king, it's okay, but you're not going to win it, right? But if you have a bishop and a rook and a knight, your attack breaks through. So this is what I believe, that generally I think we have to make partnerships who are on the same page, and then it's going to be eventually.
If we talk about, if we consider the educational chess, there's a big challenge that teaches us to understand that one size doesn't fit all. it is the specifics of the educational policies. Educational policy is a national policy. Each and every country decides their own way, what they are going to do. So there is no efficient way of the top-down communication. This has to be done. This is one of the roles that FIDE has to play. Whenever we meet at with the top-level politicians, we have to promote the idea of not only using chess for sports, but also using that for the education. But then again, I mean, especially in the western part of the world, I believe that the smartest way is actually to choose other messengers. Not that the institution is coming and telling, but people who are there, able to inspire and able to tell the stories, very practical stories, so that, at the level of the school principal, they are convinced. Because quite often it's them who make the decisions of whether or not they will use chess or in their educational system. Not the minister, not the top-level guy or lady. So that's one thing. That's why I appreciate that we start making the partnerships with such formats like this, like the Global Chess Festival, because I believe that sometimes it's smarter to choose another messenger who's much more efficient than an official from international chess organization. That's one thing. Stories, we have to create the stories. I think that's the thing that speaks the best. Yes, if we can show the results of a girl who had learned chess while being in a refugee camp. She has gone to the tournament. She has won. She has seen the perspective in their life. That is something that creates sentiment and that will make people and decision makers also to think, yes, this is worth to invest. If there are successful business people who said, yes, I mean, I've been so successful in my life, not because of 10 universities that I've gone through and got the diplomas, but a lot of things that I've used in my practice I've taken from chess. So again, I mean, additional motivation is there. So this is something that I see might work the best. We're still struggling to find the best role of FIDE there. Yes, because we are an institution. We are created of the human beings, but we have never really actively worked in the direction of creating these ambassadors. What we are doing now, we're trying to create the stories, and the next step is to tell them.
Zurab?
So, we are magicians, we agree, yes? Okay, so we have to produce something, some ideas which can be interesting for people, for mass audience, of course, this is important. One of the way, actually, there is always one way that you are approaching the politician, and it's nice that in Georgia, for example, we have such a good minister who understands why chess is important. That's why his decision was just to make mandatory in the beginning of the first class, for example, chess. But the other thing is how Dana said that it's quite difficult, this method, especially in the Western country, it doesn't work. So, one of the key points, how to advertise, for example, politicians plus municipalities, that chess is generally very nice tool. Also, not to promote your own kids, but to promote your city. For example, we implant the new event now with help of FIDE, with FIDE Developing Foundation. Thanks, Dana, once again. We create a new tournament, which we called it online hybrid championship between European cities and towns, where it's 4 categories. It's a female, men, seniors, and kids. And the idea was like this, that which sport or which other organization or institution can approach 4 categories. 1 or 2 day tournaments will be like this, and all municipalities will have first of all, we said that they have to be organized in the territory of the municipality, the hybrid chess. So, and everybody will have to will have a chance to introduce the small city which nobody knows, and why this city is good, why people have to come there, This is one of the directions. So always you have to think, you should move. If you don't move, then okay, your organization can be stable, but nothing special. But we are moving on this direction, always creating the new ideas, how to make popular chess more. And then involve people who are not chess players, because they have to be our ambassadors, not we. We are ambassadors already, we are professionals. So they have to be our ambassador. By the way, I remember one very interesting case now. I was in Prague during the ladies' championship, done also for a few days, and I met several businessmen there who start to play chess in age 40. They don't know before how to play chess. And then I asked them, I have an answer, but what I want to do, we have to introduce these people and ask them to say why they choose chess. Because they play tennis, this is normal, you know very well that every rich guy, this is normal to play tennis, but suddenly they choose, and there is a society who is playing chess in Czech Republic. It's very good to make some kind of, like you are doing now, and ask them why they choose chess. They have a reason. They believe that it will help in the business also.
Yes.
Yes.
We have talked about it just a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I wish you all success to the three of you on that very essential task of convincing, as you mentioned, relevant politicians or potential sponsors and so on. And before sharing the final idea with our viewers, I want to do two things. First of all, Judith, I think I'm talking on behalf of millions of chess lovers if I say thank you very much for all you are doing for chess, and especially for chess in education. This Global Chess Festival is fantastic, and this educational chess summit, I think, is going to become a reference for millions of persons all over the world. And the second thing is a lot of thanks to our technical team, really fantastic job. Thank you very much. And the idea I want to share with you is the following. I don't know if you agree, but I think that now in the world, every day, we have more and more people thinking less and less for a series of reasons. The bad use of social networks, the very bad quality of many TV programs, even for children, the inequality in many countries, the fast life we have in the most developed ones. So this is the perfect moment to develop and promote a game that teaches you how to think. Thank you very much for being there, and all the best from Budapest. Bye.